Shalom Israel, giving honor and praise to the Most High God for the reading and the understanding of His word in Israel. Of course, you already know it is my favorite time of the week that I get to address the royal family. First of all, to thank you for all the support that you guys continue to give me and for all the love and reaching out to me. So Israel, you already know, y'all already know, I can never ever wait to say this. I want to wish every king, every queen, every prince, and every princess, I want to wish you a wonderful, magnificent Sabbath. And thank you once again for bringing this in with your brother, Israel. I want to make this here very clear really quick. Now, at the beginning of every lesson, I extend a professional courtesy. It is a PG rating graphic at the beginning of every one of our lessons. Now, there are some of you that have recently reached out to me or whatnot in regards to the language that I use. Now, I'm going to make this very, very clear. This is my platform. I will choose to use the verbiage that I want to. This is not the Christian church, okay? I need everybody to understand that, whether or not if you are a new viewer or if you are a regular family member, this is not the Christian church. I speak in a vernacular that I can identify with my people, okay? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So if you are sensitive to certain words, then I strongly recommend that you find an alternative source to receive your word. I don't care where you go. But here on this platform, I'm going to speak to our people as a big brother, as a father, all right, as a educator, okay, someone that can actually come to me for tutelage. And I'll speak to you on a level that I speak to everyone because I'm just being myself. And that's how things have to come across with me. That's how I work. That's how I operate. Okay. So again, for any person that has an issue with anything that I say or how I say it, please find an alternative source. Okay? All right. Now, Israel, what are we going to talk about here tonight? We are going to talk about this whole question as to whether or not if you should take the vaccine or not. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring some things out. I'm not going to try to convince you as to whether or not if you want to take the vaccine. And when I say vaccine, this is in regards to the COVID vaccine. I'm not going to try to convince you not to take it. I'm going to explain to you why I am not going to take it. I'm going to present some evidence to you. So at the end of this lesson, you will at this point make up your mind and determine whether or not if this may be the right thing for you to do being an Israelite on this planet. All right. So, usually I like to stick to the word, but when issues like this come up, you already know that I like to rely on world history as well because it's right there in the Bible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read a couple of things that are not in the scripture. Then, of course, you already know I'm going to go right to the scripture. All right, so I want to go ahead and read this. Starting off now, I'm sure everybody should be familiar with the Tuskegee experiment, right? Okay, so for those of you who are not familiar, what we're going to do right now, we are going to read history, and this is coming from history.com, as a matter of fact, and we are going to read the history of the Tuskegee experiments, Israel, because first of all, this is something that must be spoken about. Let me get my drink in before I start reading, because we're reading a lot here, all right? So, here it is, history.com, and of course, I'm going to leave the link down in the description. All right, now this was last updated July 29, 2019. The original date was on May 16, 2017. Tuskegee experiment, the infamous syphilis study. Known officially as the Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male, the study began at a time when there was no known treatment for the disease. The Tuskegee experiment began in 1932 at a time when there was no known treatment for syphilis. After being recruited by the promise of free medical care, 600 men originally were enrolled in the project. So if you're not picking up on this, what happened was they enrolled 600 Negro males. So this is the tribe of Judah. All right. So they came after us brothers. The participants were primarily sharecroppers, the slaves, and many had never before visited a doctor. Doctors from the U.S. Public Health Service, PHS, which was running the study, informed the participants, 399 men with latent syphilis and a control group of 201 others who were free from the disease. They were being treated for bad blood, a term commonly used in the area at the time to refer to a variety of ailments. All right, let's continue. The men were monitored by health workers, but only given placebos such as aspirin and mineral supplements, despite the fact penicillin became the recommended treatment for syphilis in 1947. So they already had a cure for this disease. PHS researchers convinced local physicians in Macon County not to treat the participants. And research was done at the Tuskegee Institute, now called Tuskegee University. They took this place and made it a university. The school was founded in 1881 with Booker T. Washington as its first teacher. Now, Israel. Do y'all remember when we had the lesson on abortion, Planned Parenthood? Do you remember that? Do you remember what I was telling y'all about those civil rights leaders? They named this university after this brother, Booker T. Washington. Let's continue. In order to track the disease's full progression, researchers provided no affected... How to read this again? In order to track the disease's full progression, researchers provided no effective care as the men died, went blind or insane, or experienced other severe health problems due to their untreated syphilis. In the mid-1960s, a PHS venereal disease investigator in San Francisco named Peter Buxton found out about the Tuskegee study and expressed his concerns to his superiors that it was unethical. In response, PHS officials formed a committee to review the study, but ultimately opted to continue it with the goals of tracking the participants until all had died. Autopsies were performed and the project data could be analyzed. Israel, do y'all see how wicked they are? They targeted the Negro male. The Negro male. That's right, Judah. Judah! Do you see how sick these people truly are? First, they went to Macon and said, listen, don't treat them. Don't treat them. Don't give them any vaccines. Don't give them any medicines. Don't give them anything. Let whatever's going to happen, happen. They treated us like lab rats. As a result, Buxton leaked the story to a reporter friend who passed it on to a fellow reporter, Gene Heller, at the Associated Press. Heller broke the story in July 1972, prompting public outrage and forcing the study to shut down. By that time, 28 participants had perished from syphilis. They died with no care in the world, and it was absolutely intentional. 100 more had passed away from related complications, at least 40 spouses. Now, this went to the women. Because remember, they did not tell them that they had this disease. So it went from the man to the woman. 100 more had passed away from related complications. At least 40 spouses had been diagnosed with it, and the disease had been passed to 19 children at birth. They didn't give a damn about the Negro male. They didn't give a damn about the Negro woman. And they did not give a damn about the Negro child. And this is all documented. I am reading history.com right now. This is their publications, not my opinion. This is their publications. This is their history. And again, Israel, where can we reference all of this that's happening to us right now? Directly in the curses. Because remember what it said. It said it will have no regard for the young or the old. Here it is. I'm telling you, y'all cannot get around this Bible. Nobody can get around this word. Nobody. These scriptures are real. It is more real than the hair on your damn head. Nobody can get around this. These people are evil and disgusting, and you're reading how they treat us. Let me continue. In 1973, Congress held hearings on the Tuskegee experiments, and the following year, the study's surviving participants, along with their heirs of those who died, received a $10 million out-of-court settlement. A $10 million settlement. All they have to do to cure us is to throw money at us. This is horrible. Additionally, new guidelines were issued to protect human subjects in U.S. government-funded research projects. In 1947, the Nuremberg Code was established in response to Nazi physicians forcibly performing gruesome experiments on prisoners in concentration camps during World War II. The document set forth basic ethical principles for medical research involving human subjects, such as the requirement that a person must give informed consent before participating in an experiment. So as you clearly see right here, they gave more of a damn to the Nazis than you. Because at least with the Nazis, they said, okay, well, guess what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and at least tell you in advance. But them niggas, we ain't going to tell them a damn thing. We ain't going to tell them nothing. Not a damn thing. They are slaves. They are lab rats. We'll do whatever the hell we want to do with them. All right, continuing. As a result of the Tuskegee experiment, many African Americans developed a lingering, deep mistrust of public health officials. I wonder why. In part to foster racial healing, President Clinton issued a 1997 apology stating, "The United States government did something that was wrong. Deeply, profoundly, morally wrong. It is not only in remembering that shameful past that we can make amends and repair our nation, but it is in remembering that past that we can build a better present and a better future." Isn't that such a damn, politically correct statement to make? During his apology, the president announced plans for the establishment of Tuskegee University National Center for Bioethics in Research and Healthcare. So Israel, I just wanted to go ahead and bring that out. I wanted you to see that there for yourself. Now, remember, this is according to their own publications, not ours. This is their national publication, history.com. And as you clearly see what they did, I don't need to go over it again. You saw what they did. No regard for the young or the old. None whatsoever. So now, as you read it in itself, that we should have a deep distrust for our very own government. So, whenever you have the discussion of this COVID vaccine, right? Should we be worried? Should we have a concern? You better damn well believe that we should. Because their past tells us, don't trust them. First of all, the Bible said we shouldn't trust them in the first place because they are our enemies, according to the scriptures. Not my opinion, according to the scriptures. As a matter of fact, let's go there. Because there's going to be somebody, oh, that's not what the Bible says. Okay, let's see what the Bible actually says. Let's see what it says. I want you to go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. Okay? Watch this. "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships." This is talking about the slave ships. "By the way whereof I spake unto thee," by the way that I'm telling you that is going to happen. Thou shalt see it no more again. We will not see the land of Jerusalem or Israel, because we have been taken from there and put into slavery. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Buy means save you. There'll be no man to save you. Nobody's going to save you from this. Nobody. Only when Christ and the angels come back, and they are not men. Okay? They are angels, spiritual beings. When it says men, it's talking about the man down here as far as a humankind. Of course, Christ and the angels are males. Yes, they are. So that's not what I'm trying to say. It's speaking about the man here on earth. Nobody's going to be able to save you. Not Booker T. Washington, not Martin Luther King, nobody except Christ and the angels when those chariots come through and crack this sky. But what did it say here? It said our enemies. Our enemies, Israel. So you can get mad if you want to. You can be as sensitive as you want to be. That's your business. I don't care. I'm just telling you what the scriptures say. All right? So now, that was that. Now, I want to get you something else here. Because Israel, as we know, who makes up Israel? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? So now I'm going to read you something. Now I'm going to read you something from CNN.com. CNN, another one of their publications. And I want you to pay attention to what I'm getting ready to bring out. Just so you know how real this Bible is. I'm going to read you the title. COVID-19 is sending Black, Latino, and Native American people to the hospital at about 4 times the rate of others. Woo! Wait a minute now. Wait a minute, Israel. Wait a minute. How in the hell does this publication of CNN, how in the world do they get those names? How do they get those races? Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. I can tell you how. Because it's telling you who they're targeting. This is their publication. This is not mine. I'm not making this up. Israel, they know who we are. They know who we are. They're always known who we are. And I want this to go to the simpleton, the idiot, the moron, who will sit there and say that the Hispanics and Native Americans are not Israelites. Even Esau knows this. Now I'm going to read it. Listen. Black, Hispanic, and Native American people infected with COVID-19 are about 4 times more likely to be hospitalized than others. Data from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, shows. In the 8-month period between March 1st to November 7th, there were 70,825 hospitalizations reported to the CDC. While white and non-Hispanic Black people represented the highest number of hospitalizations, racial and ethnic groups were disproportionately impacted. The rate for Hispanic or Latinos was approximately 4.2 times the rate of non-Hispanic white persons, according to the CDC data. Now, Israel, I got to ask you a question before I continue. Before we go any further, why are they taking numbers? Why are they taking numbers? Come on, Israel, you know this. Why are they taking numbers, Israel? Why? Why are they tracking data? Because they're looking to see the numbers of Israel, as they've always tried. It's called population control. I told y'all back in March and April when we did those other lessons on Corona. Remember? And Israel, we haven't even gotten to the scriptures yet. Ooh, watch this. The same was true for American Indian or Alaska Native or non-Hispanic Black people who were hospitalized about 4.1 and 3.9 times the rate of non-Hispanic white persons, the CDC said. The findings are consistent with reports that non-white Americans have been hit hard by the coronavirus pandemic. The number of COVID-19 cases among Black and Hispanic children and across all ages is higher than other groups. Black and Hispanic people infected with the virus also died at disproportionately higher rates over the summer. I wonder why. Health officials have sounded the alarm. Health officials have sounded the alarm for months about this trend. So you know what that means? It means that they've been communicating. It means that they have been saying, hey, it's a go. And public health experts say it won't change unless the very compounding factors that put these groups in disadvantages are addressed. I'm not sure if you understand what the hell that just said, Israel. I'm going to read it one more time. Health officials have sounded the alarm for months about this trend. The public health experts say it won't change unless the very compounding factors that put these groups in disadvantage are addressed. I'm reading CNN.com. This is a worldwide publication. Israel, they're telling us. What more can we possibly say about this, Israel? This level of, let me continue. We've learned a lot about how to treat this disease as well as more about how to prevent it with wearing masks and social distancing, said Dr. Lisa Cooper, director of the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Equity. The problem is that for people who still are having challenges with access to health care, it doesn't mean things are getting better for them. So, who is that going after now? The impoverished, the poor, us. Some communities of color, including Latinos and African Americans, do you see how they always lump us together? Are often uninsured or distrust the health care system. Now, this is two different publications saying the very same thing, letting you know that they are all a part of the very same agenda. And this is exactly what they're putting out. Remember, I always tell y'all that they will always put all the evidence right in front of your face. You just have to read. You just have to be a little bit more motivated than just watching the news and actually go and read the things that they say. And that's why if you don't do it, I'm going to bring it out to you. They have higher rates of conditions like hypertension, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, which can lead to more severe reactions to COVID-19, Cooper said. Jarvis Chen, a social it's right here, that word. At the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health said, more people of color have jobs where they can be exposed to the virus in areas like healthcare, food production, and public transportation. I wonder why. Because they made our conditions so poor and so low that those are the things that we have to rely on. If they get sick, many are afraid their health may impact their ability to financially support their families in the short and long term. I wonder where that comes from. Israel, can you say Willie Lynch? For those of you that have not seen the Willie Lynch lessons, I strongly need you to go back and watch those. Oh, yeah. It's all coming to a head now, isn't it? These are real situations that people have to deal with that impact the possibility that people feel like they don't have a choice in terms of being able to stay home, even if they have symptoms that could be, in fact, COVID-19 symptoms. Chan said, whose research focuses on social inequalities in health. Learning that Black and Latinos were at a higher risk of COVID-19 complications has influenced some of the decisions that families are taking. Irene Skinner, who lives in Jefferson County, Alabama, has 5 daughters who are attending virtual classes to avoid getting exposed to the virus. I don't want to take a chance and put myself at risk, nor my kids, nor my mother, Skinner told CNN affiliate WBRC. The country's population is about 43% Black, according to U.S. Census data. U.S. Census data. So, Israel, this is exactly why we are not supposed to be participating in the census. I told y'all that already. They're collecting numbers. Now, if you have no idea about this, I want you to go and I want you to read the book of Numbers, because the Most High said that Israel's numbers should not be taken. Should not be taken. Why? Because this is Israel's army. He don't want the other nations having our numbers. That's our business. The country's population is about 43% black, according to U.S. Census data. There have been more than 26,000 positive COVID-19 cases in the country, and 27 of them involve black people. Now, as you see, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? This whole article is about us. Do you see how the nations refer to you, Hispanics and Native Americans? They say your black ass is included right there with us. Goodness gracious. According to data from county health and emergency management officials. There it is. All right, Israel. So, before we even get into any scriptures, is that something that you feel that you may want to do? I'm not influencing your decision. I'm asking you a question. I'm not making a statement. I'm asking a question. So now, guess what we're going to do? Now we're going to go to the scriptures. All right. Now, Israel. This is in regards to the individuals who continue to send me these videos and articles or whatnot in regards to the COVID vaccine. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm not taking it. I know better. I know better than to take this damn thing. All right? Based on their history right there, that should go ahead and ring bells off in my mind already. So I won't be participating in taking that damn vaccine. That's out. That's out. Okay? First of all, let me go ahead and say this. There are so many other diseases out there that they did not get a handle on, that they have been, let's see. First of all, let's start with HIV. Let's start with AIDS. Okay? That started back late 60s, early 70s when the Vietnam troops were coming home and they were saying that they were having blood issues. Okay? That started all the way back then. So that's well over 50 to 60 years worth of research that they have not cured. Nothing at all. No advancement either. You know what advancement is? Advancement is curing it, meaning that, guess what? I can get rid of it. That's what that is. Not treating it. Okay? Not giving you a medicine that's going to go ahead and curb it, no. Or stop or stop the effects temporarily, no. A cure means to get rid of it altogether. Okay? Now, here you have cancer. How many years of cancer research? Nothing. People are still dying from it. Okay? All these different things, all these STDs, all these untreatable STDs. Now, not that long ago, then they have like that 90-day strain of HIV, AIDS, or whatever that was killing people like that and getting rid of them. They can't even cure migraines. But all of a sudden, your little crack team of medical officials got together and y'all all of a sudden came up with this damn vaccine. Please kiss my ass. Kiss both cheeks. Leave the hole alone. But you really mean to tell me seriously that they came up with a vaccine? Honestly? In less than a year and you haven't treated those other things? You must be out your damn mind. Like, what type of fool do you take us for? What is wrong? Okay. Let me get into the scriptures. All right. I want everybody right now, I want to read Psalms chapter 91. I'm going to read the whole thing, okay? I'm going to read this all the way down because we need it, Israel. We truly need it. And this is really for the person that is having these issues or having this debate in your mind as to whether or not you should even be concerned about this vaccine. All right, let me go. Watch this. Psalms chapter 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Did you see that? He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. So what does that mean? That the Almighty, the Most High, he casts a shadow over the person he protects. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In him will I trust. In him will I trust. Not medical officials, In him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Noisome pestilence. I'm going to read that one more time. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of thy fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Pestilence, COVID. Oh, we're not done. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Israel, do you understand what this is saying right here, Israel? Do you get it? Do you think the Most High is worried about some damn COVID-19? Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, Israel. Are you understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth from these scriptures? Nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. I have to read that one again. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There, listen, Israel, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. All praises to the Most High God. All praises to the Father. All praises to the King. All praises to the Father on his throne in heaven. All praises, all praises, all praises, Israel. I gotta read that one more time. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. No plague, no plague, no plague. None. Verse 11. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. In all, meaning every way. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone, meaning to stumble. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, and the adder is a poisonous damn dragon. The young lion and the dragon shall thou trample under feet, meaning there ain't going to be not a damn thing to touch you. Not a damn thing. Because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. He shall call upon me, and I shall answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Israel, what are you worrying about that for? What are you seriously worrying about? Some damn vaccine, if they're going to come out with a vaccine. Who cares? Did you hear what the Most High said? And do you see what he specifically said? Plagues and pestilence. That's what we are experiencing right now. So it really comes down to this, Israel. It really comes down to this. Whether or not, if you truly have faith in the Most High, or if you're bringing your plain church tendencies into this truth. It cannot exist. There's no plain church. It's either you truly believe every word that the Most High has given you, or you're plain church. And you got to make up your mind about which one you want. Who gives a damn if they try to come out with some stupid vaccine? Let me get you something else. I want you to go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 33:1. Now, I've shared this with many of you that have actually reached out to me in regards to these things here, but I want to share with the family. Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 verse 1. And this is what every Israelite needs to be standing on. There shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord, but in temptation even again he will deliver him. That's it. That is the only thing we need to be standing on. Because Israel, listen to me and listen to me good. The Most High is testing your faith. You better believe it. You better believe it. Because so many of you are wondering, oh, well, if they do have a vaccine and they say if I don't take it, I can lose my job. Get the hell with that damn job. Are you really going to let them put something in you that they have not tested, number one, and also due to the history of how they treat us? I'm just asking a question here. I'm asking a question. Okay? Because for one, you really have to ask yourself here. And let me make this very clear. I'm not talking about the other nations. Esau, Moab, Ammon, Ham, all of them, they can do whatever they want to. They can all do whatever they want. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about Israel. I'm talking about our people. And even as these things come out, our people have to actually speak up and be like, wait a second. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. Why y'all bothering us? Why y'all targeting us? Why y'all so concerned about our numbers? So concerned that you put it on your national publications. Why are y'all so concerned with us? You know what? Thanks, but no thanks. All right? We have the Most High God. And we are going to stand on every last one of his words. That is what he told us to do. I'm telling you, it's all about your faith. It's all about your faith. I'm telling you right now. So many of you, so many of you right now are just battling the whole, I don't know whether or not if I should do it. Okay, well, hey, the decision is yours. But what I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to bring out that proof there from their publications, and I'm also going to continue reading these scriptures. Watch this. Isaiah, I want everybody to go to Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. You have to hear what the Most High says. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. He said, I'm your God, Israel. I'm your God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee in the right hand of my righteousness. There it is. That's in the Bible. That's biblical. To the Israelites, he said, I'm thy God, meaning I'm your God. I'm your God. I'm not the God of these other nations. I'm your God. All right? 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 18. I want you to go there. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 18. And the Lord shall deliver me from every evil work. The precept to Ecclesiasticus 33:1. I'm going to read it again. And the Lord shall deliver me from every evil work and will preserve me unto his heavenly kingdom, to whom be the glory forever and ever. And he seals it with amen. The Most High said he got you. The Most High said he's going to deliver you from every evil work, because what they do is evil, evil, evil. But there's a stipulation. There is a stipulation, Israel. There's a stipulation. What you got to do? What you got to do? What you got to do? You got to keep the commandments. That's the difference maker. You got to keep the commandments, Israel. If you're not keeping the commandments, guess what? There's no protection for you. None whatsoever. None. You got to keep the commandments. And if you choose not to keep the commandments, hey, guess what? That's on you. That's your business. That's your problem. But as you see, it says it's going to hold you in the right hand of his righteousness. So guess what? The Most High does not uphold the unrighteous. He only upholds the righteous, which means you got to keep the commandments. Okay? Go to Proverbs chapter 19 and verse 23. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life, And he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. Another precept. So say, for instance, if this disease, this vaccine, because that's all that's in those vials, is the live culture of the damn disease or parasite or whatever the hell it is that causes the virus. Did you hear what the Most High just said? Did you hear what he said, Israel? Again, another precept. No evil is going to come to you. But how? Let's read it again. Let's read it again. Just so that you know that there's stipulations in regards to this, and I'm not just talking out of my ass here. The fear of the Lord, meaning to keep the commandments. That's how you fear the Most High, is by keeping the commandments. The fear of the Lord tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. So if there are evil things in those vials, it ain't coming for you. You don't got to worry about that. That's a promise. That's a promise, Israel. That's a promise. Let's get some more. Go to Go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 3. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 3. Watch this. But the Lord is faithful, who shall establish you and keep you from evil. Precept. Precept. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Precept, nigga. I don't know what else to say. What else to do? This is all right here in the instruction manual, in the book that the Most High God gave Israel. And he said, if you keep my commandments, ain't a damn thing happening to you. Not a damn thing. So for all of you out there who still question whether or not if you should take that vaccine, that is the least of your damn problems. You have a much bigger issue. And that issue, hey, do I keep his commandments or not? Am I keeping his commandments or am I not? That is what you should be concerned about. Because that is going to determine what happens to you. Because as you see with this whole COVID thing, is not letting up. The world has changed. It's never going to go back to the way that it was. Never. Even with the movie theater industry, even in Hollywood can't even get a handle on this here. They can't even do it. Here you have AMC that's arguing with Warner Media about how people are going to come into the damn movie theaters and stuff now. The world is never going back to what it was. Never. The tide has changed. The end is here. The end is here. And a lot of y'all still play around and act like it's not. It's right here, right now. And as you can see, everything that's changing around you, your entire world has been turned upside down and fell on its ear. Everything has changed. All right, now, of course, this one right here. I love this. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. I want you to go to Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. Do you see that word there? What was the word that stood out most right there? Heritage. What is your heritage, Israel? It is our ancestry going, did I say that right? Ancestry going all the way back. All the way back. Again, the Bible telling you that this book is for the Israelites and not the whole world. All the people that want to say, God loves everybody. No, he don't. No, he doesn't. As much as you would love to believe that, he does not. All right. I want to go now to 2 Samuel chapter 22. I want to read verse 3 and 4. And quite frankly, I don't hear this one come out enough, to be honest. The God of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield. And what do you use a shield for? For protection. And the horn of my salvation. Now, we went over this here. Who is salvation for? Salvation is for the Jews. John chapter 4, verse 22, we went over that last week. Isaiah chapter 45, verse 17, we went over that last week. My high tower and my refuge, my Savior, thou savest me from violence. I will call on the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies. Boom, 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 bow. Drop that damn mic if I could right now. Mine enemies. We just learned about that earlier. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. My enemies, 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 enemies. What more do you want, Israel? What else has to be said? What else needs to be said about all of this? The Most High told us plain and simple, keep my commandments, I got you. Keep my commandments and I got you. Keep my commandments and I got you. That's it. There is nothing else. There is nothing else. The thing that separates us from the Most High is whether we're keeping the commandments or not. Sin keeps us separated. That's it. Sin keeps us separated, Israel. And yet you'll have these Christian pastors that'll sit there and tell you, you don't have to keep the commandments. You don't have to do any of that. The law is done away with when the Bible clearly says that the law is still intact. Christ said in Matthew 5:17, he did not come to take away the laws. I did not come to abolish the laws. I only came to fulfill what the Old Testament said about me from the prophets. I did not come to destroy, but to fulfill is what he said. So Israel, there's no question to this as to whether or not if you should be keeping the commandments, because you should be. 100% you should be. And if you don't, there's consequences. These plagues that the Most High put on the earth, he does this. He's the one that's controlling the evil. He is the one that creates the evil. But he said it doesn't have to be on you. It does not have to be on you. So that's why I'm not worrying about this damn vaccine. I couldn't give a good damn about this stupid vaccine. My trust is right there. My faith is in him. It's in nobody else. It's in him. I'm telling you that time is chipping away. The time is really, really chipping away. All right, I want you to go to Psalms chapter 138, verse 7. Psalms chapter 138, verse 7. Listen to this. Though I walk in the midst of trouble, thou wilt revive me. Thou shalt stretch forth thine hand against the wrath of mine enemies, and thy right hand shall save me. Again, talk about the enemies. The Most High told us who the enemies were. First of all, it's all the other nations. But in this particular case, right here in this particular country, it doesn't matter what country you're in, if you're dealing with this whole damn COVID-19 pandemic, which everybody is. And if you're an Israelite, the Most High God said, you keep my commandments and I got you. He's our shield. He's our savior. He's our refuge. He's everything that we need. He's everything that we need. He's our doctor. He's our lawyer. He's our physician. He's everything. He's our father. He's our caretaker. He's everything to us. Everything. He is our financial support. He is everything to us. And we don't have to worry about a damn thing. And for those people who are constantly worrying, guess what? You don't have any faith. You have no faith whatsoever. None. Because in all things, we ought to go to him. Even with this damn global pandemic, we ought to go to him and nobody else. No one else. But our people won't do that. They still rely on worldly issues. And remember what he said. He said, yo, we are not of the world. We only live in it. So we are not supposed to be dealing with these stupid worldly issues. Let them niggas out there that want to deal with that. Let them out there in that world deal with that. This should have no concern to an Israelite in the commandments. So I should not be receiving your videos. Whenever you see those things like that, you should be shutting that down. Like, don't be reading that BS, whatever. Get that out of here. Get that out of my face. But But no, people still come through. Oh, look at this. Look at what they're doing here. Look at what they're doing there. Who cares? They're Esau. That's what they do. Nothing is new with them. That's how they like to have fun. That's what they do. And they like to have fun at your expense. That's the horrible part. That's the horrible part. Yeah, we've read this here. We've read it. So now, Israel, guess what? It's completely up to you as to whether or not, if you want to decide to take that vaccine or not. That's your business. That's up to you as if you want to do that. But again, like I said, I'm not taking it. I don't need to. Because even if I do come in contact with damn COVID, you know what this thing's called? It's called vitamin C. It's called lysine. It's called zinc, which is a power combination that'll get rid of damn near antivirus. Or even perhaps oxygen treatment. Those things. There's many things that you can do. It's a virus. And the thing with the virus is that, guess what, Israel? Guess what? A virus must depend on cell replication. How do you break down your cells, Israel? It's called fasting. When you kill those damn cells that are infected. That's what fasting does. That's what it does. Because the more you eat and you put sugars and things like that into your body, guess what? They feed off of that. They feed off of sugar. Continuously replicating the virus. But the Most High said fast. Fast. Our people don't want to do that though. Oh, I can't do I don't want to go without eating. I can't do that. No. So all you got to do is fast. That's why your body actually shuts down when you are sick. That's why you throw up and you have an upset stomach. That is called a forced fast. So that you can't put anything into your body to strengthen your cell replication. That's what you do. But yet, our people, so concerned about what the world says. Oh, you have to eat 3 times a day and all that stuff or whatever. Oh, goodness, you're losing weight. That's the first thing people go to. Oh my gosh, you're losing weight. Oh, that's not good or whatever. Like, some of us need to lose some damn weight, actually. Even if we're thin people, some of us need to lose weight. Some of us, be developing guts and stuff like that. It's like, okay, yeah, I can take off 5 pounds, okay? But why don't we? Because everybody is so concerned about how the world actually sees us. They worry about the outside manifestation. They don't care about your spiritual manifestation. They don't care about that. And it's a damn shame. It truly is, family. It really is. So, honestly, I want everybody to stop worrying about this and keep these damn commandments. I mean, that is the message that I'm putting out to the family right now. Keep the commandments. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. You keep these commandments. That is what the Most High gave us. As you saw in His word, it's either you believe Him or you don't. It's either you believe every word of the Most High or you're calling Him a liar. It's your choice. You choose. You make the choice of that. All right? Now, Israel, I'm so glad that we were able to discuss this here about this damn situation. But just remember, it's your decision. You decide whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Your decision. If you decide that, hey, you know what, just for precaution, I want to go ahead and take the vaccine or whatnot, that's your business. You go right ahead and do whatever you want to do. Okay? But I at least wanted to make sure that I showed you per history, all right, how Esau does with us. And it's a recorded and documented history. But hopefully it made your decision maybe a little bit better. Gave you a different side to it. But guess what? It's absolutely your choice. But the main takeaway from all of this is that you put your faith in the Most High. That's where your faith belongs. And if your faith is not there in the Most High on every word, then you're playing church. You're playing church. And you need to get Christianity out your mind. You need to get it out your body. You need to get it out your soul. You need to get it out of every parameter around you. if you're serious about accepting your heritage as an Israelite, accepting your heritage as an Israelite. That's what you have to do. That's what I have to do. And if you don't keep these commandments, guess what? You don't got to worry about COVID. Because there's going to be a fire coming your way that's going to heal every ailment that you have all the way to the point of your death. All right? So Israel, I want you to think about that. All right? And with that being said, Israel, I love you. I'm out.